She looks so happy in that picture. Oh, wow. So who was like the let's get a dog person? Really? Is this your only dog? Okay. Okay. So what did she think about the puppy? Oh no. Does she tolerate or does she like completely avoid and okay. She's a big dog. Yeah. Because I would think a boxer maybe would be smaller, but oh. Where do you find those mixes? Do you like? Okay, so they're rescues. Cute. Cindy, are you a dog person or a cat person or neither or both?
I'm definitely a cat person.
Cat person?
I have one that I raised since he was a kitten.
How old is he now?
He's 2.5.
Okay, cute.
Yeah.
I would love to get a cat, but my husband is allergic. I know. Are you really? See, that's more rare than being allergic to cats, so that's really interesting.
I think I have 4 cats.
4 cats?
Yeah. 2 of them are outside cats. They're like stray stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna find a picture of my cat. He's so cute.
Does he? And he stays inside generally.
Yeah.
So do you declaw the inside cats and?
Oh, we don't declaw him.
No.
The 2 inside are good.
Okay. And they don't scratch on all of your like furniture and stuff?
Oh, he does.
Oh, okay. You just let him.
This is he's a blue.
Oh, he's really pretty.
Yeah, he's adorable. He's my little baby.
Okay, gray. I like that.
He sleeps with me like he's very clingy. I've never seen a cat like that. He's like a dog. He fetches. He like will sleep with me.
What? Fetches? That's funny.
I have a video somewhere. He does.
That's so interesting. You're allergic to dogs, but not cats. Oh, I forgot. I guess first activity. Good morning, Hanson. How are you?
I'm good, Miss Holloway. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Do you have any big plans for spring break? Let's have any big vacation plans or anything? No?
Not really. Just get my permit, and that's pretty much it.
Well, that's a big deal. Have you been practicing already?
No, I'm still trying to finish the online course.
Okay. So do you have to finish the online stuff before you get your permit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, for me,
Okay. How does your mom or your parents feel about that?
it's not really a big deal. I should have gotten it a while ago, but
Okay.
nothing happened. So
My son is going to turn 15 in September, and I am terrified. But you're probably more responsible than my child.
yeah. Okay.
So I think you're going through driver's ed still? Still
Yeah,
going?
I'm not up on my next term. I'm gonna get my license.
Yay.
I have a lesson after school today.
Okay. What do you think is the hardest thing about driving, Hanson?
I think just paying attention and making sure you don't crash. I guess.
That is, especially now, when I started driving, we didn't have cell phones. So that is a huge distractor right now. So yeah, be careful for that. Good morning, Thomas. Thomas, we're talking about driver's ed. Have you started driver's ed or thinking about driving yet? Good morning, Ava. Not at all. You know, there are more people nowadays, teenagers, that are choosing not to drive at all. Very interesting. I think especially in bigger cities where they have like public transportation, it's less common to go through driver's ed and stuff than it is here in Texas, where we don't have public transportation, which is still very odd. Good morning, Eva, and let's see who else popped in. Anna Lee. We'll start in the next couple of minutes. Good morning, Malia, and who else? And Geo. I think Geo hopped in. Good morning, Geo. All right, we got a good number. I'm going to go ahead and post the attendance survey for today, and we'll get started. I hope everyone's doing well this morning. I can imagine you guys at home, it's probably getting harder and harder to get on at 8:25, but I commend you. Pat yourself on the back for getting up early. It was no easy task. Okay. All right, I'll keep posting as we go for those who are just now hopping in, but welcome this morning. I do want to give a shout out to you guys. For the 7.5 homework, we had 100% turn in. That's a huge, just pat yourself on the back. Like, you are starting the 5th 6 weeks off really strong. Keep that momentum going. I know, especially as we get further into spring, it gets harder and harder to stay motivated, but stick with it and keep doing your assignments. So great job on 7.5. I'm very proud. Okay, I posted the attendance survey again. I'm going to post it one more time here. Yesterday was Texas Independence Day, if you guys saw that. So yesterday was the anniversary of our independence. Today in history, March 3rd, today is Star Spangled Banner Day. It's National Anthem Day. On March 3rd, 1931, the Star Spangled Banner became the official anthem for the United States. Positive thought of the day. This is a wonderful day. I've never seen this one before. I like this little quote from Maya Angelou. Having gratitude and being grateful for the things that we have is sometimes difficult, especially when we're going through, tough times. But take some time today and think about things that you're grateful for, people in your life that you're grateful for, a parent, a relative, a friend. Focusing on the things that we have instead of the things that we don't have often leads us to having a more full life and outlook on life. So that's even better. And then let me know how you're feeling today. I know, like I said, as we get closer to spring break, it gets harder and harder to focus, but give us a little bit of time today and we'll get through this together. Okay, so I have our notes up here today, but we're going to do a little activity together. I'm going to put this up here and I'm going to put it in the chat. So if you will, go ahead and check out the chat for this Desmos link. Yes, I'll send it again, Lena. If you'll check out that Desmos link right there, go ahead and get logged in. Just put your name up there. This is it's called Polygraph, and it's kind of interesting. There's not a right or wrong, y'all, so don't think you're getting ready for a quiz or anything. It's going to pair you together as you log in, and one of you is going to choose a graph, and one of you is going to try to guess which graph that person chose. So questions to ask during this time are like, does your graph have any horizontal asymptotes? Does your graph have any vertical asymptotes? Do you have an x-intercept of this? So different questions. Use your vocabulary that we've learned. And go ahead and play this. I'm going to put the timer on for 5 minutes. So it's a pretty short game. If you get finished, you can do another one with someone else. So I'm going to put the timer on now. And I posted it in the chat. I'll post it again here for everybody to get logged in. I think we're still waiting on still waiting on about 6 people to log in. So make sure you're logging into that. All right, if you haven't logged in, go ahead and log in. I see some people are waiting for partners. In about 4 minutes. If I don't see you, I'm going to send you a little message here. Make sure you can access everything. I haven't seen any check marks yet. Have you gotten yours right? I'm still guessing. Oh, okay. So you were the picker. Make sure you're asking questions. It's going to prompt you to ask that question. We've got about 2 minutes left, so you have a few questions to ask. Good morning, Levi. I'm going to send you the link to the game that we're playing. If you want to hop in real fast. I see 0 check marks yet. It must be a hard game. I got mine wrong yesterday. Huh? Okay. One minute left. That gives you like 2 more questions to ask. Whoever gets a correct graph deserves a candy bar or something. Did you get it right? No way, that's awesome. Look at that. Julie and Geo. Okay, we got 35 seconds left. So if you are still working, go ahead and continue. Type fast. Nice job. Look at that. Well, I like those questions. Is your graph more than perfect? Okay. If you are still playing, go ahead and finish up your game. Geo and Julie, rock stars. They're the only ones that got, y'all were partners, right? Okay, nice job. Very impressed. When I played yesterday, I totally got mine wrong. So big props to them. Give me a little bit in the chat, a little bit of a reflection. What did you think about this game? You know, what struggles did you have? Give me a little bit in the chat. I want to see your reflection on this game. And for the couple of you that just hopped in, I'm going to post the attendance survey again. So Allie, what did you think? Annalie, Ava, Chris, Eva, Hanson, Jana, Geo, Katie, and Kendall, and Levi, what did you guys think about this game as you played? What struggles did you have? Trinity and Thomas. Yeah, that's a good statement. You said it was tricky, but knowing what questions to ask helped. Good. Your partner chose very specific, good and specific questions. I like that. Ah, that's a good point. Somebody said I wasn't sure what terminology to use. That's a good point. Kind of hard to ask descriptive questions. Yeah, good. Yeah, the vocabulary is rough, right? I saw some questions that had to do with like the quadrants, and some questions said where does it go through the y-axis? Oh, ooh, that's a good point too, Annalie. Annalie said, you know, it makes a difference when you and your partner are on the same wavelength, right? So if you're asking a question, your partner understanding exactly what question you were asking. I like it. All right, so we only have a few examples today. If you want to grab out your notes, this is day 2. So we're just going through an extension of last time's notes. We talked about horizontal and vertical asymptotes whenever we did this, Monday, I think. And so today we'll extend this and actually start graphing. Thank you for the feedback in the chat. I did read all of it. I just didn't say them out loud. So if you don't have your notes, go ahead and grab some graph paper out, or just a piece of paper. I can't do anything without graph paper. It just looks terrible. I'm going to have my Desmos handy as well. So if you want to go ahead and pull that up, that's going to help us out. And let's go ahead and start. All we're doing, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at first our horizontal and vertical asymptotes. So I'm going to put an HA and a VA here. And those are going to help us guide our graphing. So for this first one, can you tell me in the chat, I know you can, tell me in the chat, what is our vertical asymptote here? And make sure when you put it in the chat that you're putting it as your line, as an x equals. So tell me in the chat, what is our vertical asymptote here? Perfect. Yeah, I'll let you write a couple more. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. So when we're writing our vertical asymptote, please make sure that you're writing it as x equals in that value of 1. And what about our horizontal asymptote? We're going to notice, first of all, our numerator and denominator, the degree of our numerator and denominator. If the degree of the denominator is greater than the degree of the numerator, I always have to look at my notes, y'all, so don't feel bad if you're having to look back. So my horizontal asymptote, like we talked about on Monday, is going to be y equals 0 when the degree of my numerator is less than the degree of my denominator. So those are my starting points. Y equals 0, so that's my horizontal. So I'm going to make my asymptotes a dashed line, so you can go ahead and draw these on your paper as well. And then my vertical asymptote is x equals 1. So I'm going to find my 1 and do a vertical dashed line. So this is going to help me kind of, these are my boundary lines for my line here, or my function here. Now I'm going to pull up Desmos, because y'all, I know in 7th and 8th grade, you guys learned to evaluate, and you had to pick, you know, so many x values and plug them into your function. We're not going to do that. We have resources, and we're going to use our resources. Work harder, not smarter. How about the other way around? Smarter, not harder. X minus 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug it into Desmos, make sure that our asymptotes are correct. And I'm just going to pull up our table. And I want to pull 5 of these values that are going to give me a good description of the entire graph. So these may work for us and they may not. I want some that are going to tell me about this branch, and I want some that are going to tell me about this branch. So let's choose that -1, -2, because we like whole numbers a whole bunch. And then I'm going to choose 9 and 0.5 and -7 and 0.5. These values are just going to give me a better description of the entire graph. If you notice this point here, this is a great whole number point, but it doesn't really tell me the shape of the graph if I just put that point on there. So I want to make sure that I have good points here. All right, so let's go ahead and graph. Graph with me now. So if you notice on my left branch here, it gives me a good description. Those 3 points really give me a good description of what that graph looks like. All right, I'm gonna leave that there, just push it up just a little bit. We're gonna move on to example number 5 here. So it says 5x squared divided by x squared minus 1. So in your homework, the top one we didn't have to simplify. In your homework, there are gonna be a bunch that you'll have to simplify first. This is one of them. So I'm gonna factor my denominator, 5x squared, x minus 1 and x plus 1. And that'll help me, number one, determine if I can cancel anything out, which I can't. But then it'll also help me determine what my vertical asymptotes are. So in the chat, please tell me, what are my vertical asymptotes? If you haven't given me an answer yet, this is a good time to do it. I have a good question in the chat. It says, what is a degree? So that's a really good question. I want to know my leading, a degree. If I have a degree, if I'm looking at it for a degree of a polynomial, like this one here, x squared plus 4x plus 1. Well, I have a couple of degrees, right? This is to the second degree and this is to the first degree. You're looking for your largest degree. That's the degree of the polynomial, right? So this degree here would be 2, okay? Now, if you notice here, my degrees, I'm gonna be looking for those largest degrees. They're the same, they're both to the second degree. I hope that helps and that explains a little bit more. That's a great question. See this here, if I said x to the 5th, there are less terms, but my degree is higher, is larger than this degree. Great question. Okay, so I see good answers there where x equals 1 and x equals -1. So we have 2 vertical asymptotes there. And then I also saw an answer in there, thank you for putting that in, that our horizontal asymptote is y equals 5. Good. When our degrees are equal or the same here, then it's going to be your leading coefficients as a ratio. So really it's 5/1, which can be simplified to 5. Great answers. All right. So let's go ahead and graph our vertical and horizontal asymptotes. We can kind of see what this is going to look like. If you like to make your graphs look really nice and fancy, this is the assignment for you. All right, tell me really quickly, before we look this up on Desmos, tell me how many branches you think this will have. If you notice up here, we had 2 branches, right? Looking like a little hyperbola. How many branches do you think this graph is going to have? Just take a guess. Keep going, keep going. How many branches do you think this is going to have? Yeah, we can kind of think, okay, well, this is to the 1 power, this is to the 2nd power. Maybe it'll have more, right? And since my asymptotes, I have 3 asymptotes, maybe I'll have 3 branches. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what it looks like. Huh? That's a good point. Yeah, she said it does have to do with domain. Yes, it does. That's squared. All right. So those of you who said 3, you're spot on there. Let's get our table out here. And we have some good numbers here, but I only see like 3 potential points. So here are the points that I looked up. Oh, I didn't even look them up, did I? We have 0, 0 for sure. Let's see what our other points are. I think I have a -2. See what -2 says. 6.6. And then a 2 and 6.6. How about a -3? What is -3? 5.625. 3. Or a 3, we can put that in. Looks like it's a mirror of each other. If I put in a -0.5, maybe that'll help. And a 0.5. All right, so I have a couple extra here, but that's okay. What point is that? There it is. I want enough points so I can connect the dots and really know what this is going to look like. 5, 6, 6. Here we go. Very symmetrical. Okay. Tell me really quickly in the chat, because there's 2 examples on the back. However, if you are feeling pretty phenomenal about this, then we can move on to the homework. Are you guys, so tell me in the chat, are you good to move on, or you want to do one more example? Okay. Okay. So here's what I'd like. If you guys will go ahead and grab your homework out for 7.6, day 2. I'm going to do one more example, but I want to pull it from the homework. Oh, I think I already have it pulled up. What am I doing? Oh no, that's the notes. There is a number in here. It is number 13. If you will pull up number 13, I want to do that one as an example together. So if you've printed your notes, go ahead and flip it to the back, except cross this function out. We're going to do f of x equals, and this is number 13. So you can do this on your homework too. 2x squared plus x divided by x plus 1. So this is number 13 on your homework. We're going to do this as our last example, and then I'll answer any questions that you have. So let's go ahead and simplify this just like the one before. I'm going to pull out a 2x here, or an x. Wait a minute. This isn't the one I wanted. I'm lying. Okay, sorry. It's number 8. This is why I use pencil, because here I am scribbling on my paper. This is number 8, f of x, because I want a good example for you for when you find a hole, okay? So this is x squared minus 4. So this is number 8. F of x equals x plus 2 divided by x squared minus 4. We're going to simplify, meaning factor. So my denominator is a difference of 2 squares. It can factor into x plus 2 and x minus 2. Notice that when we simplify, these cancel, right? So my simplified form is 1 divided by x minus 2. This just tells us, simplifying your function only tells us where our holes are. This is not our function, right? This is still our function. We're still going to use our original function when we graph, but this is going to tell us what's a hole and what's a vertical and horizontal asymptote. So here, let's look at this. Your vertical asymptote is x equals 2. Your horizontal asymptote is, do we have any? We don't have any, do we? When the one on the bottom is smaller. Y'all have to look at my notes every single time. None, thank you, none. Some of y'all have better memory than I do. Okay, so this x equals -2 is a point of discontinuity. I called it POD in your homework. So x equals -2 is your point of discontinuity. So wherever my graph is at -2, it's going to be an undefined point. And I'll show you what that looks like when you graph, because Desmos doesn't exactly tell you what it does. So let's look. X plus 2. All right, so it looks like we just have a regular hyperbola, right? Oh, it does look like we have a horizontal asymptote at 0. Do we have a horizontal asymptote at 0? I don't know. Oh, we do. Sorry, we do. Y equals 0. We're having interesting conversations over here. All right. So I'm going to draw my asymptotes here at 0 and at 2. So draw with me. That way you have this in your notes and then you can copy it for your homework. But where my point of discontinuity is -2, it's undefined, okay? So that means at -2, where is it? It's right here. Why can't I? I don't know why I can't do that. It's going to be undefined. So wherever that is, I'm going to draw a little circle. So it's going to look like this. I have, what is it, 0 and 0.5. That's 1. So notice as I'm drawing that I have an open circle there. It doesn't show you that in Desmos, okay? I don't know why. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Okay, maybe it'll do it here. Okay, so if you notice, it only shows me a hole when I drag over the point. We've talked about this before, but when you're graphing it, you have to actually put that hole there, okay? So make sure that when you do run into that you're graphing that correctly, okay? I don't know why I wasn't doing that. We do need some more points here. Let's see what 5 is. Let's see what 3 is. 3 is at 1. 5 is at 0.33. All right, so that's a good number, points there. And there is number 8. So that kind of gives you an example of what happens when you have a hole. Okay, it is 8:57, y'all. Talking about a couple of things. Oh, we're done at 9:15. I want to talk about a couple of things before I let you go. And I do want to answer some other homework questions if you have them. For Friday, I'm going to give you a vote. So please tell me in the chat. It's the review for the test. Would you rather meet together live, like we're doing right now, or I can do a video of the review, and that's what you can do on Friday. So it'll be kind of asynchronous, but you'll watch the video. So tell me, would you like to do live or video on Friday for the review? I don't know what that was, Gio. It was like an @ sign. What does that mean? Does that mean a happy face? Okay, so I see a lot of video. So I'll do the video of the review. I'll have the Zoom open if you have just any questions that you want me to go over. The review is, okay, y'all, yeah, let's talk about the review because it's like 8 pages long, but however, I only want you to do odds. It's 43 questions. I want you to do odds, and you don't have to do 15 through 22. So that's what, like 20 questions maybe. So not too bad. So it's about 20 questions. I'll do the video. I'll do it pretty quickly and then I'll upload the answers. So that means that Friday we will not meet live. We'll just do the video. And then Tuesday you have your test. I'll do like we did last time. I'll open the test up on Monday and close it on Tuesday. So you have 2 days. I'm going to give you a little bit more time to take it. I think I gave you 2 hours last time. I'm going to give you 3 hours this time. Maybe a little bit more depending on how long it takes me. I'm going to go through it today and see how long it takes me. A little sneak peek of our test. Let you see this really quickly. Without showing you the answers. Okay, so sneak peek of our test. It's a lot of fill in the blank, y'all. But it's probably half fill in the blank, half multiple choice. There's probably 12 SAT-like questions. So thinking about an SAT-like question, like number 14, it says, which of the following expressions is equivalent to this expression? You have to simplify this one and see which ones are also the same when you simplify them. So it's a little bit more thinking involved. There's some evaluate. There's some identifying the features of the graph or the function, the asymptotes and the domain or the point of discontinuity, same thing that we're doing today. And then here's the other thing. I'm giving you, there's 3 of these. I'm giving you a graph of the asymptotes, okay? And you have to determine what the function is based on those asymptotes. So use your thinking skills there. It's not uber difficult, but make sure that you go through and really do your due diligence. Use Desmos, use your notes that you have. And then there's a couple of true false. And there's 1 word problem. The word problem is not bad. I don't know what happened there. Why that did that. So that's a little preview of the test on Tuesday. Okay, so that means that I will not see you until Thursday, and that's the day before spring break. So would you like to go over any of the questions from our 7.6 day 2? Or do you feel okay? Either one I'm totally cool with. So let me write those announcements down and you can take this. So we have Friday, oh, I can't write it down. So Friday, no live class. 7.6 day 2 is due. There we go. And then Tuesday is your test. No live class again, but I'll have Zoom open on these days. And then Thursday, we meet. Your review is due on this day. Make sure you're seeing those review dates. I'll have the take-home test graded hopefully by this weekend. If you have not turned in your take-home test, y'all, that's not good. I need to hear from you about why, because we need to make sure that you're going to get that in. All right. It looks like I don't have any questions in the chat for the homework for today. So it's 9:03. I'm going to let you go ahead and go. I'll miss you for the next week and I'll see you next Thursday. Thomas, are you still there?
I am.
Okay. Let me stop sharing.
I'm looking back at my take-home test and I'm pretty sure I messed it up.
That's okay.
I think I did simplifying expressions, not radicals.
That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do expressions.
Okay, because I thought it's like the it's like 5x squared plus 42x plus 16 over x plus 8. That's